This idea that oh, we can't reward the artist. Yes, there are going to be people, if you give them these grants and whatnot, that are going to sit around and do nothing. Get rid of them. Don't give them to it. I don't know though how to replace that system. You're not going to find, a few dozen Dan Schneiders that you can put into some grant giving system. So it's going to end up being corrupt anyway. So I would just sooner not fund artists. If you're going to put funds into the arts, get the kids young, get the kindergartners or even the preschoolers, get those in elementary school, and stop with this idea of trying to teach them about these whatever artists are writing. It's good to have, let's say, instead of Baba the elephant and his colonial ambitions that were in that book, it's good to have something that says, you should be nice to people of all color. You should respect people having religion or not having religion, if they're gay or they're straight, if they're big or they're tall or fat, or that's all fine. But you also have to get these kids' intellect going. You cannot inspire someone with bad art. Bad art is not going to reach someone. Just having a little sunflower that a kid does and a stick figure, that's not art. You need to get these people and say, because kids can look at a Van Gogh, they can look at a Goya, they can look at something like a Magritte painting that will cause them a dissonance in their mind and get them thinking. This is not a what was it? This is not a pipe. The famous painting by Magritte of a pipe, and the words underneath, "This is not a pipe." Get those kids thinking about those kinds of things. Art can do that like nothing else can. You can't engage children in some great philosophical debate or treatise, but you can show them a visual picture, and at the speed of light, it will get into their mind. It will activate their brain juices, and it'll get them thinking. And what happens is, when that doesn't happen, a child can only learn speech. Their mind is plastic enough to learn many languages up until about the age of 7 or 8. After that, it gets harder. In the same way, if you want to stimulate the creativity of a child, you have to get to them early and keep feeding them and keep feeding them and keep feeding them. Because that isn't done, a lot of people who could be artists don't become artists. And I don't believe that everyone has creativity. What I'm saying, though, is if you have a class of 35 kids, or maybe now if they're smaller, 20 kids, there might be one in every third class, 1 in 60 kids that could grow up to be a great artist. But if you don't get to that kid, he's going to end up becoming an account manager at some nameless corporation, doing nothing of value to society in the future. And that's a loss. And that's where the money for the arts needs to go. You have to pull out that person of exceptional ability. I don't care if it's male or female, black or white or whatever. Find that person. And the only way you do that is to stimulate their minds so that they do stand out at the age of 8. And the teacher can say, little Susie B, she's the one who's in the class. Yes, we like all the other kids, and we don't want them to end up homeless and become drug abusers and whatnot.